Coming up, vandals damage a new Flagstaff synagogue. Plus, we highlight a teacher this Tuesday that encourages students to take risks. The news starts now.
You're watching NAZ Today, Northern Arizona's local news.
Good evening and welcome to NAZ Today. I'm April Hedinger.
And I'm Audrey O'Connell. Thanks for tuning in. A shocking display of vandalism at a new synagogue has left many people wondering if it qualifies as a hate crime.
The Chabad of Flagstaff Synagogue was recently defaced with what appears to be drawings of swastikas. NAZ Today's Michaela Clark is live in the studio to tell us about the vandalism. Michaela?
The synagogue isn't open yet, and Flagstaff police say it may have already been impacted by a hate crime. The vandalism happened sometime over the weekend, and police started investigating Monday when the destruction was found.
Mortar was spread around, paint was splattered, tools were destroyed, and the walls are marked with symbols resembling swastikas.
With the swastika, we didn't identify it readily as a swastika. It does look like a double swastika, especially the ones painted on the window and the ones carved, so we don't know necessarily. Like I said, we're trying to weed or determine whether it is hate-based or if it's just someone not familiar with what the symbol is.
Rabbi Dovey says, if anything, the vandalism just makes the Jewish community stronger.
It makes us want to finish the construction and to open up our doors to the community and be welcoming to all and continue teaching the message of Chabad.
Rabbi Dovey says in the 13 years the Chabad of Flagstaff has been in the city, they have not experienced anything like this. The vandalism is still under investigation, and police did take fingerprints and biological evidence from the scene of the crime.
We believe that it is significant in this small community. We are a close community, and we don't want hate to fester and become a bigger problem.
Flagstaff Mayor Coral Evans posted on her Facebook page saying in part that anti-Semitism and hatred in any form has no place in our community and that her heart is with Flagstaff's Jewish community. If you have information on the crime, call the Flagstaff Police Department or Silent Witness. Michaela Clark, NAZ Today.
It's back to square one in Flagstaff's search for a city manager. The candidate selected in a recent search turned down the offer because the salary was too low. So the nationwide search will resume. Flagstaff City Council released a statement saying, while the outcome was not what we hoped for, we are very optimistic about the new search. We remain supportive of our current city manager, Barbara Goodrich, and her planned retirement. A report released today says that Arizona ranks 5th in the United States for personal income growth. The study from the U.S. Bureau of Economic Analysis concluded Arizonans saw a 5.5% average increase in 2018, beating the national rate of 4.5%. Governor Doug Ducey says Arizona's booming economy is bringing increased paychecks for workers.
A lost dog has been found 2 weeks after a car accident and was returned to its owner safe and healthy. The accident happened on March 12th near I-17 near Stoneman Lake. Dozer, a pit bull mix, was ejected from the vehicle and disappeared. The Arizona Department of Public Safety received several calls about dogs matching his description. Central Arizona Animal Search and Rescue set up a trap, and Dozer was rescued on Monday. He was thin and exhausted, but was in good spirits and returned to his owner.
For many people, reading is a way to relax, but if going to the Flagstaff Library sounds like too much of a hassle, there are other ways to find a new book and even keep it for free. The Little Free Library program says it's the world's largest book sharing movement, and chances are it's literally around the corner. Joy Johnson explains what these little libraries are all about.
Each little library has its own charter number. Suzanne Jobin owns number 29,115. And even though she's gone digital for most of her reading, her little library continues to be stocked by caring friends.
And I've started reading most of my books on Kindle now. So the books that are in there mostly have been given to me by friends who still read paper books.
Jobin has owned her Little Free Library charter for a couple years now, but even she can't predict what she's going to find inside.
I've had some very esoteric things too, like Chinese poetry put in, and Oh, Shaun of the Dead, the vampire movie, was put in. So I'm tempted a lot of times to take out things from my own little library.
Not all charters look the same, and that's exactly how owners want it to be. Each uniquely decorate their little free libraries. Jobin chose license plates for hers.
I was at a friend's house in Seattle, and they had been collecting them, and they were just piling up in their garage, and it wasn't easy for them to give some of them up, but they did. And so once I had critical mass, you know, like 8 or 9 of them, I thought, oh, that's what I'll do. I'll just put these all over my little library.
The philosophy behind these tiny libraries is simple.
On the little charter plaque, it says, take a book, leave a book. And I think people think that means if you take a book, you must leave a book, that it's only an exchange, but it's not. You can take all the books you want.
The goal of the little free libraries is to bring joy to everyone that comes across them.
It just delights people. And it delights me, too. I can see it from my front door. I think they're just great. I think there should be one on every block.
Joy Johnson, NAZ Today.
If you're interested in finding the closest Little Free Library to you, visit littlefreelibrary.org for a map and more information.
It's Teacher Tuesday, and for today's Teacher of the Week, we're highlighting someone who tries to create a comfortable classroom by encouraging her students to take chances.
NAZ Today's Erin Vidito is in the studio to tell us more about 3rd grade teacher Linda Hart.
In a lot of classrooms, there are things that visually set a teacher apart, be it artwork or the overall structure. But in Linda Hart's room, the phrase, take a risk, might as well have been written on the wall, because that was her philosophy. Through leading by example, Mrs. Hart tries to create a classroom that's comfortable enough to take chances in.
When students look at their teachers, they often see a role model, something to aspire to, and someone to grow up to be.
Some of my happiest moments are when they say, hey mom, oops, I mean Mrs. Hart, or grandma, because we are getting older, grandma, and then they giggle. I love that.
But some of these educators carry a little known secret. Most of them are students themselves, and Linda Hart is no exception.
I love taking classes. I'm not afraid to ask. I'm not afraid to ask questions. I try things out. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
Something Hart's colleagues have taken notice of.
Linda is a lifelong learner. Linda is always striving to do the best that she can. She is not afraid to learn and try new things.
Through this attitude, Hart leads by example, breaking down barriers and telling her students about some of the challenges she has faced and overcome.
Math, this is a pretty good example. I used to not be very good in math, seriously. Even when I was standing in front of the classroom, I wasn't the greatest. So I started doing professional development. I went to a conference in Las Vegas. All of my colleagues are sitting there going, this is so great, oh my gosh. I was crying. I gathered up my things and I left the conference because I didn't get it. But rather than squash me or smother me, I just thought, okay, this is not an excuse. Keep going, girl, keep going. You took a great risk.
And according to Principal Gutierrez, stories like these help her students see Hart for who she strives to be.
Her students see her as being very caring. They know that she is understanding and that she is patient.
After teaching for 20 years, she has no plans to stop anytime soon.
I never get burned out. I love my job. I am eligible to retire and have been for a while, but I have absolutely no desire to retire. I love what I do. I love coming to work. I don't even call it work. I love being here.
And she couldn't imagine doing anything else.
She even told me that her past students still remember what made her past classes so special. And speaking of which, there are still so many amazing teachers out there. So if you know someone who deserves a spotlight, message us on Facebook or email us at newsroom@naztoday.com. Erin Vidito, NAZ Today.
Coming up, the last chance to see pandas at the San Diego Zoo. Stay with us.
All right, good evening, folks. I'm meteorologist Lee Bourne. Another beautiful spring day out there today. Some pretty good looking imagery here of the high cloud cover that's kind of been on the increase across Arizona throughout the day today. Still did not stop us from warming up out there today. Today is kind of the peak of our latest little heat wave. We're going to talk about the ups and downs of spring coming up.
It's the 26th anniversary of the Flagstaff Home and Garden Show at the NAU Fieldhouse, March 29th through the 31st with free admission. See what's new in home improvement with the best prices all under one roof. See hundreds of displays, win a new Subaru Forester, and more. Get free antiques appraisals, tour a tiny home, and see new watercraft toys. Ride the free shuttle from the Sky Dome to win the vacation and participate in the cash grab. Don't miss the original Big Home Show.
Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac is on a march to glory. Save up to $10,250 on the Chevy Silverado. Or take advantage of 0% for 72 months plus $1,000 cash back. Save up to 21% off MSRP with your choice of a 2019 Chevy Cruze, Malibu, or Equinox with a total savings of up to $8,390.
Hi, this is Mark Harris, owner of Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac. I guarantee to beat any dealer's price on the same make, model, year, and options or receive $500 cash. Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac.
If you drive buzzed, it could cost you around $10,000. You'll face major legal fees, major fines, and steep insurance penalties. You could lose everything. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back. If you would like to see a live panda, you may soon need to travel much farther. That's because the San Diego Zoo will soon be sending its 2 resident pandas back to China. The zoo made the announcement yesterday and says it is pandas are getting popular, but they're getting ready to leave. On some level, the fact that they are leaving is a reflection of the progress the species has made over the years. Amanda Brandis reports.
Hi everybody, welcome to the Giant Panda Research Station here at the San Diego Zoo.
Visitors wait in line in hopes to get a glimpse of 6-year-old Xiao Li Wu, born here at the San Diego Zoo.
Now you guys came at a great time.
Today he's putting on a show, gorging on bamboo and strutting around Panda Canyon to the delight of visitors.
Mostly to see the panda, yeah, because we have a great zoo in Omaha, but we don't have pandas.
And now John Marita is feeling even luckier that he got to see Xiao Li Wu and his 27-year-old mother, Baiyun, who was brought to San Diego over 2 decades ago. Baiyun's first baby was the first to be born and survive in the United States. There have been a total of 6 live births here.
Our agreement with the Chinese came to a conclusion. And like with all good things, sometimes they come to an end or an intermission.
When they first teamed up with the Chinese 25 years ago, the species was expected to go extinct. Their status has since been downgraded from endangered to vulnerable, meaning the zoo accomplished what it set out to do. The staff here...
Yes, they have grown attached to the pandas.
We're going to be sad, they're going to be sad. The community, we understand it's sad for our staff to come and not have the pandas here in the next month. But we want people to come and celebrate with us of what we've been able to do for the species.
Sean Dixon, Chief Operating Officer for San Diego Zoo Global, says they'll leave the exhibit for now because they're hoping to bring new pandas to San Diego, in talks now with the Chinese to try and make it happen.
But it has to be, how do we help conservation? How do we help this species?
And in the meantime, they'll celebrate the pandas in the years of hard work keeping the species alive.
The San Diego Zoo says that April 27th will be the final day to publicly view the pandas.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses.
You heard how loud
I heard. It wasn't you. Yeah. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Don't look at me. Your hair's a bit frizzy today. Aww. You should pick that up.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Poor you.
They want to help, but don't know how. Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
Tonight's NAZ Today weather is brought to you in part by Terry Markson Chevrolet Cadillac in Flagstaff.
All right, this heat wave, long time coming today, just about the same as yesterday as far as our warmth. A couple of places went up a degree, a couple of places went down a degree here in Flagstaff. 62, 1 down from yesterday. Sedona 73. I believe that's 2 up from yesterday. Prescott the same, and pretty much everybody just within a degree or 2 of yesterday's warm readings. We'll call this seasonably warm weather with temperatures hanging, right around 10 degrees above average. We always get to an average temperature for a day. Well, sometimes it's 10 degrees warmer and sometimes it's 10 degrees cooler. Very rarely is it on average, and that's how we come up with an average number. You start getting 15, 20 degrees warmer or cooler, then I start calling it unseasonably warm or cool. So we'll call it seasonable warmth out there today at 62 degrees. Still the warmest days we've seen since last fall. Feeling mighty good. Record high 73 degrees set back on this day, and I missed the date. I was a little trigger happy. Okay, here's a look at the wide picture for us. This is the whole Pacific Ocean here. Here we are in Arizona, the red dot indicating Flagstaff. Here's all this high cirrus cloud cover that's kind of been on the increase throughout the day today. These clouds way up there, like 30,000 feet, made of little tiny ice crystals versus the lower clouds that are, down around 3,000 feet, which really don't show up on the infrared satellite as much because this measures the heat. And so the colder the cloud tops is where these algorithms start putting in the color. And that's what we see on infrared satellite imagery. So a lot of high cirrus clouds streaming in out of the subtropics and our whole kind of air mass coming out of the southwest, very mild air mass, high pressure in place. Now it's this area of low pressure. This is going to start making its way inland, well to the north of us here in Arizona, but it's going to mean some breezy temperatures and a gradual cooling trend here as we get into the latter half of the work week. We're going to continue with these partly cloudy skies, even mostly cloudy here for the next 24 hours or so before they start to clear out and we see some more sunshine later in the week. All right, current look outside right now. There's a look at those high clouds streaming overhead above the beautiful San Francisco peaks. 57 degrees outside right now in Flagstaff at Pulliam Airport. Winds out of the southwest at 14, mostly cloudy skies. When we have cloudy skies, I talk about it all the time. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but it's kind of interesting. It means a warmer overnight temperatures. When we have a clear night, the radiation we receive from the sun at the surface, it gets lost right off to space during the overnight with no clouds, and we're much colder on a clear night. When we have the clouds, some of that radiation that leaves gets re-radiated back at us, and therefore our nights are much more on the mild side. And these high clouds, believe it or not, are much more efficient at keeping us insulated and mild than the low clouds are. So tonight, we're going to go with an overnight low of 34 degrees, and that's quite a bit warmer than where we were yesterday on a partly cloudy night at 27 degrees. If there was no clouds tonight, we would definitely be down into the low mid-20s. Okay, for tomorrow, mostly cloudy and 61 degrees. Now, the clouds during the daytime blocking the sunshine. If there was no clouds, I'd say we'd be at 65 degrees, but blocking the sun out there tomorrow. It'd also be breezy. Those breeze picking up throughout the day tomorrow continues into Thursday before the breeze kind of backs off. We're kind of borderline breezy, windy, and winds gusting up around 30 miles per hour. Typical springtime stuff. 76 tomorrow in Sedona, 71 Payson, 77 Winslow, 72 Tuba City. Here's a look at the extended forecast. A little bit of the ups and downs of spring, as I mentioned earlier. We've been in the low 60s here. Temperatures gradually cool down, although really still hanging a few degrees above average for this time here. A bit breezy, and on the cool side, mid-50s here, getting into late week, early weekend, and then temperatures back on the rise late weekend into early next week.
Well, I hope spring brings us some sun every now and then.
Yeah, you can bet on it.
And Mitchell, as basketball season wraps up, baseball's around the corner. What do you have for us in sports?
Yeah, April, the Arizona Diamondbacks opening day is only 2 days away. We'll talk about it coming up. Stay with us.
Yeah, you. Getting that college education. What are you gonna do? Graduate and take some office job? Be like everybody else? Or will you dare do something different? Like, be a teacher. You could be my teacher. You got the skills. The smarts? Yes, you. You could be the teacher I never forget. That'd be cool. Does that corporate job even have recess? What are you gonna make of yourself?
What are you gonna make of me?
Leaving hot coals improperly extinguished can cause a wildfire.
Hey guys, it's Smokey!
It looks as if Smokey is going to use the drown, stir, drown and feel technique. After the first drown, a good start. Next, another drink. And finally, a close feel.
Is it cool? Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Smokey, catch! Oh, my bad, Smokey.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Welcome back to NAZ Today. I'm your sports reporter, Mitchell McKenzie. Well, the Arizona Diamondbacks opening day is right around the corner as they will be traveling to face the Los Angeles Dodgers in a 4-game series. We got an inside look this spring training and caught up with starting center fielder Gerard Dyson. This is what he had to say about what he is most excited about this year.
Man, we're excited, man. It's pumped up in here, man. I like it. You know, the kids ready to prove themselves. We got some guys out there that was hurt, you know, ready to rebound from last year. You know, just everybody excited, and we pulling all in the same direction.
Well, I'm excited for the season to start. Unfortunately for the D-backs, they have lost a key player in the starting outfield. Steven Souza Jr., who has only been on the team for a year, suffered an injury last season, and unfortunately he's going to miss the 2019 season as he has tore his ACL and his LCL in last night's game against the Chicago White Sox. I wish the best of luck to the D-backs this season. Well, checking in on high school, the Flagstaff Eagles boys baseball team is rolling through the first part of their season. They are now 5-2 so far and have 2 big games this week. They are currently playing Mojave right now down there in Phoenix. They play Mojave again on Thursday at 3:45 here in Flagstaff, and then they go back down to Phoenix to play Lee Williams on Saturday at noon. I wish the best of luck to the Eagles as they close out this season strong. Now moving on to the Phoenix Suns, they weren't their best as they played against the Utah Jazz last night. They lost with a final score of 125-92. A key player for the Suns this season has been Devin Booker. Last night he just went off as he had a total of 59 points. He shot 56% from everywhere and was 16 for 17 from the free throw line. That means he only missed 1 free throw shot the entire game. No other player for the Suns scored over 10 points last night. For the Jazz, it was all Rudy Gobert. He had a double-double last night as he had 27 points and 10 rebounds. As the Suns' record is now 17-58, we got to start thinking of what the future plan is as far as the NBA draft. If we do get the #1 pick this year, who could we pick? Stay tuned later on to find out who the Suns are keeping their eyes on. Well, lastly, as part of the newly formed Professional Football League, the Alliance of American Football, or AAF, the Arizona Hotshots have definitely been heating up the field after a win against the San Diego Fleet on Sunday with a score of 31-16, as they are now on a 2-game winning streak. NAZ Today's reporter Cristiano Ramos was at the game and caught up with an NAU alumni who has made the journey to playing football at the professional level.
You know, I played JUCO ball, and the bond I made over there was a lot like how this league is compared to the NFL. So these guys, you know, we're all fighting for a second chance, and, you know, that brings us a lot closer.
Being able to see your hard work pay off and play in a professional league as a football player is all a part of the dream.
I caught up with NAU alumnus Sue Pelia now and took him down memory lane as a lumberjack.
The way he prepared me was disciplining me to be, you know, pay attention to all the details, and, you know, always be in my books, you know, if you don't really know your books, then you're not going to prepare on the field, you're not going to be ready to go.
Ball's going to be tipped at the line of scrimmage by Peli NAU.
And some pro tips for his former teammates, NAU says to never give up.
The scouts are going to come out, they're going to say you're not fast enough, you're not strong enough. Once you get that chance, you take advantage of that chance, of the opportunity, and you just make plays. I mean, they're going to tell you can't do it, but I'm here right now. I'm a living testament. So.
The saying goes, once a lumberjack, always a lumberjack. NAU had one final message for his lumberjack family.
Go Jacks.
Cristiano Ramos, NAZ Today.
And unfortunately, NAU did not play on this game against the San Diego Fleet, but something to mention, the Arizona Hotshots are preparing for the game against the San Antonio Commanders in Texas on Sunday.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty cool that NAU alums are, playing after college.
Yeah, and it's not just that the NAU alums, making that next step up to the professional league, but to see this league for all of these players, who didn't do so well in the NFL, who possibly have another chance, this is the way to go.
All right. And coming up after the break, we'll take another look at weather. Stay with us.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Testing. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Partly mostly cloudy here overnight through the day tomorrow. Breezy conditions the next couple of days. Wind backs off, sun comes out. A little bit on the cool side here Friday, Saturday, but we're used to it. Temperatures begin to warm up late weekend.
Well, talk about taking your work home with you. The labor and delivery unit at Maine Medical Center is crowded as 9 nurses who work in the unit are expecting babies within the next few months. This is video of the hospital. You see a few of the expecting nurses there. They are all due between April and July. The soon-to-be mom says it's been great to have so much support right at work. The nurses will also be there for each other's delivery, proving the support was there from beginning to end.
That is amazing.
I think that's pretty crazy.
It's such a joyous occasion, but I can't imagine the workload for the rest when 9 are going to be out.
And you know what's ironic is they all work on the same floor.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. Well, thanks for tuning in and have a good night.